shucks. There you go. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back, and y'all know exactly what time it is, so let's go.
Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
So let's dive right into this video. Now this is going to be part 3, okay? Part 3 of the racial gap and trying to figure out what happened, like what went wrong, what happened, how we get to where we are. Seriously, y'all, you know, we got to put the nail in the coffin on this one. We got to try to figure this out, man. We got to try to, even though it's not going to really be the nail in the coffin, but you dig where I'm coming from, right? But listen, man, I'm trying to get my music ready for you guys. You know, I like to play a little music in the background for y'all. So how y'all doing out there? I hope everybody's well, and I hope that this day has been a fortunate, prosperous, and peaceful day for you, okay? Full of love, reciprocity, and all things good, okay? And that you are in good health at the time of watching this video. And that you and your loved ones are safe, okay? So now, before I jump right into this, I want to say something. We can no longer sit back and, make excuses for certain people. People that want to hold up the line within the black, or should I say, I'm sorry, please excuse me for that. I say black, and y'all know why I say black, because most of us, you all, still identify yourselves as being black, and you call and label yourselves as being black. So I want to make sure that I am speaking and reaching all my Aboriginal people, all my melanated copper tone people, okay? So when I say black, that is why I'm saying it. You know that. I've said that before, and I won't keep saying that. But welcome back, and I hope that you came here in peace, because I don't have my sign right now, and I still got this crick in my neck. Y'all see how I'm moving? I feel like the Tin Man right now. But anyway, we can no longer continue to make excuses for those that are refusing to progress, for those of our people that are continuing to hold up the line. Let me tell y'all something. I live in the hood. I won't lie. I live in the hood. I live in Delaware. And if I had it my way, I probably wouldn't have been where I'm at. But as I was transitioning, moving from New York to here, I entrusted someone to help me find a place, and I was kind of short on time, and so I wound up in the hood. And baby, let me tell you something. When I say hood, that's an understatement. It's more like ghetto, because of the way people behave. Now listen, I'm not trying to throw stones or put nobody down. You know I love you, okay? But when I see the way so many of our people are carrying themselves today, it is just, it's disgusting. I go outside, and you know, on a nice day, the block is full of folks, but it's filthy, it's trashy, and I, for one, I'm sick of it. And on certain days, if I'm sitting out there in front of my house and it's trashy outside, I will go and get the broom and I will clean. One of my neighbors does the same exact thing. God bless her, because she's not in the best of health. But this sister will get out there with a broom early in the morning and she will clean the whole block. Mid-afternoon, same thing. And then I look at all the young brothers and sisters just gathered around everywhere, and I see the trash, and I watch them throwing trash up and down the street, never for once stopping and just looking around and saying, yo, come on, man, how we out here, our babies out here running up and down in this trash. I continuously try to figure out what has happened to us. What has happened to us? Now, in these video series right here about the economic gap, the racial economic gap that is, I'm breaking down what has happened to us economically, wealth-wise. But I cannot for the life of me, even with all the things that have happened throughout time, but I mean, you know, to a certain degree, yeah, I do kind of get it. I get it, because like I told y'all before in other videos, like getting back to Big Mama's house, I get it, because most of that generation under me is the crack era babies, and we all know what that crack did to our folks, to our neighborhoods, communities, because we used to have so much more pride. See what I'm saying? It ain't never been easy for us. Our struggle has always been hard. Our story, our fight, our plight, it has always been hard. Okay? They've set it up that way. This entire system that we live within has been set up that exact way to make it extra hard for the needy, extra hard for the black, melanated, copper colored people. But I just feel as though that's no longer an excuse that we can continue to use, because that's what we're doing. Too many of us have become comfortable, and we are now using that excuse as a scapegoat. You understand what I'm saying? We using that as a scapegoat, and we always want to point the finger or play the victim. Oh, look at me, you don't understand what happened to me, and they did this to me, and they did this to me, and the white man and his foot on my neck. Listen to me. Yeah, them people downstairs and downstairs. Him downstairs. That's our thing from now on. Him downstairs, okay? So when you hear me say that, you know what's up. But him downstairs has always been like that. Has always been a tyrant. Came from truculent and archaic beginnings, and have a truculent and archaic demeanor. They've never had any true love or respect for nature, for life. See what I'm saying? Life is just to gain, to profit for them. And yes, in life we should all be striving to gain, to profit, to go higher, higher, higher. You know what I'm saying? But him downstairs has only sought to manipulate, take, kill, rob, and steal. Not build. Nothing, 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 and nothing. Show me something from the history books. I long to see it. Something from the history books. Something from true historical events where him downstairs has done something just based off of the foundation of love, just based off of the foundation of giving. I've not seen it. I've not seen it. See what I'm saying? Oh, maybe for one another, but then even with that, and I will show, okay, that even with that, even with their fellow brothers and sisters, they've shown and displayed the same hatred. But we used to be a people that, although not perfect, although had our shit about us like we still do today, okay, we've always kind of had that. You know what I'm saying? That little cockiness. You know what I mean? Because at one point in time when we were on top and leading and ruling, the whole world stopped and bowed to us. It's in the text. Read books like Nature Knows No Color Lines, J.A. Rogers. Read books like White Masters, White Slaves. Read certain books like Ancient and Modern Britons. Read those books, and then you will see that we were not always deemed in this society and throughout the world as just, oh, them po niggas. Look at them po niggas. Look at them niggas. No, you used to be revered. There was a time where they even had sayings such as to see a swarthy man, Negro man, and this is, I'm speaking gender neutral, to see a swarthy man, because that's what once upon a time we were called swarthy, which basically just meant black, okay? And it was said that to see a swarthy man at the beginning of the day was a sign of good luck for the day. Okay? Some of their historians have even wrote about what a beautiful people we were. But now I look out and I see my folks and I'm wondering what in the world has happened. Okay, yes, the crack era. That generation before me, I'm a 70s baby. See what I'm saying? So we talking about the 80s and 90s generation. They're victims of the crack era. Their parents, most of their parents took flight. I got family members, same thing happened. Okay? Cousins that had to grow up, you know, like that. But you see, I had a big mama, and my big mama stepped in. and said, oh no, these babies won't. No, these babies won't be sent to no system. These babies won't be raised by no strangers. And so those family members were kept safe, okay, and raised up with the family. So they knew not to be out there going crazy like that. But unfortunately, a lot of young people didn't have that coming up during those eras. Their mamas and their daddies took flight, took to the streets, chasing that rock, chasing that high. You understand what I'm saying? And these babies were left to defend for themselves, sometimes having to raise their younger siblings when they in fact were just a child themselves. Who was raising them? See what I'm saying? No one. They were raising themselves. And because they had to beg, borrow, and steal, sometimes just to eat, just to have a place to sleep, they grew up with this sense of not caring. Fuck everybody. Fuck the world. Don't nobody care about me. Why should I care about anybody else? And so now today, these babies are grown men and grown women with that same frame of thinking, with that same way of thinking, with that same venom in their heart, that same mentality. But I get it because of how they were raised and what they had to go through just to grow up. But how many times and how long are we going to continue to sit back and just watch? Those of us that know better, those of us that came from better and just know better. See, because there are so many people in the world that came from those same meager upbringing, okay? Poor. Listen, man, I grew up in the hood of Brooklyn, New York, and you know what I'm saying? The hood, Brooklyn, New York. Oh, we lived in a nice building. You know, my neighborhood was basically fairly nice, decent, you know what I'm saying? Good folks, you know, shit happened just like shit happens everywhere else. But for the most part, I grew up in a decent neighborhood, in a loving, clean, decent home environment. But we still had our struggles. I ain't no stranger to struggles. I ain't no stranger to sugar water. I ain't no stranger to mayonnaise sandwiches. I ain't no stranger to getting your lights cut off. I ain't no stranger to not having the heat on, having to get dressed in front of the stove so you could go to school. A pot of water boiling on the stove so you could bathe. See what I'm saying? I'm from that. And still, I managed to grow up and have respect for myself and others. So I will no longer continue to make excuses. This is a time for those that are lacking and falling behind to get in line, and for those of us that are already in line to get them in line with us. And are you your brother's keeper? To some degree, we may have to be. Because I don't care what your indifferences are. I don't care for what reason you may not like your neighbors, your brothers, or your sisters outside your immediate family. The same way you can talk about everything else and get involved and stick your nose in places where it don't belong, You can do the same thing when you see your brothers and sisters falling by the wayside, especially if you call them your peoples. See what I'm saying? And that goes for the weak and that goes for the strong, because even sometimes our strong sisters and brothers need a pull-up. They fall weak sometimes too, because this journey right here is hard, and this mission that people like myself and others are attempting to do, which is to educate and re-educate our folk, it ain't easy. And it's a lot of odds against us, because a lot of people don't want us doing this, don't want us sharing this information. I told you before, people are upset right now. Oh, what them people talk about? Talk about they was the first Americans. What them people talk about? Talk about this day land. What? Because their granddaddies, great-granddaddies, Jethro and all of them told them something different. Told them a lie. This whole foundation was built up on a lie. See what I'm saying? Built up on a lie. So, because they believed it, and then they passed it on and fed it to their young ones, their offsprings, their family members, their spouses, friends and neighbors. Now we got an entire group of people that are seeking to keep that lie alive. So do you realize the road up ahead? Do you realize the fight we gonna have? Just trying to get our fair share. That's all. I don't want what's yours. I don't want yours. I only take what I need. If somebody offer me something to drink and I'm not thirsty, I know how to say no thank you. See what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people to make my eyes bigger than my stomach. Well, on occasion I may have, had an extra plate or two that I probably didn't need, shouldn't have. We all do that. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not a selfish person. I'm not a greedy person. And I'm not a needy person. See what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is that if none of what I say or any of the other brothers and sisters up here that's doing this, spreading this information, is going to have an impact on your life in a way to make you move different, to make you think different, to make you want different, to make you want better, then what's the sense? This might as well just be a hobby. Simple as that. This might as well just be a hobby and nothing more, nothing less. So, with that being said, we got to prepare ourselves, because not only are them people downstairs, him downstairs, mad and trying him damnedest to not make that happen for us. And I believe this time around they gonna pull out all he gonna pull out all his magic tricks. Oh yeah, all of them. Some things which we ain't never even heard of. Because this is the final hour. See what I'm saying? The sand done ran through the glass. Sand done ran through the hourglass. So now, you got to figure out, we got to figure out what we going to do with all this information. What we going to do with all this newfound information we got. What we going to do with all this knowledge, this information. See, knowledge is free, but information costs. Some of y'all get mad when a person, asks to, just donate a little something in their cash app and they super chat for all the work they doing. You got some YouTubers out here right now that's bringing on all kind of guests. People that's really out there on the front line, boots on the ground in our communities, and have had boots on the ground for 30, 40, 50 years. See what I'm saying? And they got these people on their show, and yet and still you want to sit back, you want to watch, you want to suck up all the knowledge, all the information, but you never want to donate. And if they dare ask you to donate, see what I'm saying? You mad. You mad. Why you can't just give it to me for free? What you gonna do with it? That is the question. What are you going to do with it? You see? You want somebody to always just give you something. What did your mama tell you about taking and always asking and begging? That's a form of begging. It's just things, man. It's just things. I sit back and I think about it, and we got to get it together. But and we got to start learning to support one another more. Learn how to put aside your indifferences, because most of your indifferences are not based on facts or actual actual knowledge or information about that person. You just coming to these conclusions all on your own, just based on something stupid that somebody implanted in your own mind. See what I'm saying? And we gotta figure out, you should want to support someone that's giving you an education that can actually help you. See what I'm saying? Because we all know that free education that we got in public school, it helped us. It gave us the start, the head start that we needed to continue on. That's all it did. Give us a head start. The things that we needed to actually better our lives, they didn't give that to us. That wasn't included in the deal. That wasn't included in the package. We wasn't even offered that package. We was offered one package. One. See what I'm saying? And sometimes that package was all ruffled up and scuffed up. Just a mess. But there are people in this world right now to this date that take that same raggedy package and produce some of the best and most beautiful gifts to the world. See what I'm saying? I mean, if our ancestors could do it, and our ancestors had it a heck of a lot worse than us, especially once him downstairs got there. Okay? And at one point in time, even with all the obstacles, we were thriving. We were doing so much better than what we're doing right now. Like I said in part 1, yeah, we in corporate America. We on TV more, even producing our own shows and movies. We done moved up in all these areas where once upon a time ago we weren't even allowed. You was headlining at the Ritz and had to come through the back. Had to come through the back, through the alley, by the trash and the rats. Muhammad Ali was the heavyweight champion of the world and still lived in the ghetto. See what I'm saying? So yeah, we got a lot of things that we can look at and be proud of. But can we really be proud of it if we ain't doing nothing with it? Yeah, we getting that bag now, but what you doing with that bag? What you doing? I don't never hear no talk of nobody trying to build no railways, no railroads. You know what I mean? I know it's hard. They done made it way harder now than it used to be, but shit. Even years ago, when it was still hard. And we didn't have as much information. It wasn't as much information as out here now. Years ago, we had our own airline. What was it? I believe it was Piedmont. Piedmont. Oh boy, my family loved Piedmont. That was their airline. That's all my family took, traveling back and forth from New York to South Carolina. Piedmont, baby. Huh? So, you know, it's not like it's impossible. It have been done. Even in the worst of times. Even with limited resources. It have been done. So we can do it now. And I'm telling you right now, baby, we better figure out how. Not just keep talking about it around the lunchroom cafeteria, you know what I'm saying, around the lunchroom table and around the water fountain at the job, you know, on the stoop on the block, you know what I'm saying? But literally doing it. You know, a couple of years ago I presented, and I used to present a whole lot of stuff like this on my old Facebook channel that was well into the thousands. I was always, you know, presenting things and speaking this way, which is probably why they set me up to be hacked. Ain't nobody stupid, man. Come on, man. There's far too many people just getting their pages snatched down and being hacked. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all on top of everything else, but you can't seem to figure this part out. You can't put the kibosh on this, but you on top of everything else. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, I'ma digress with that. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, like, I used to say, if you are someone that you cool in your neighborhood, you know a good amount of people, you know what I'm saying? You know everybody cool with you cool with them. The next time y'all all gathered around, be like, yo, man, why don't we start up a savings? There's a lot of land around here, a lot of patches of land around here, a lot of old buildings around here, houses around here that no one has lived in for a long, long time. And you know, right now, today, the government got all these programs. They want people to go and fix these places up because they're eyesores. See what I'm saying? It brings people's property values down. So they want people to come and fix these places up. Sure, they make it harder for melanated, copper-colored people, but it's not impossible. See what I'm saying? And then I used to be like, if everybody could just give $5 a week or $5 a month. $5. If you know 20 people in your hood that you cool with, and you can get them to just give $5 a month, that's 20 people times 5. That's $100. Right? By the end of the year, what's that? $1,200? And then we just keep doing that. And then we ain't even gotta appoint nobody, because it seems like as soon as you try to appoint one person to carry out a mission, everybody get all antsy. Well, why he got to be the one? Why she got to be the one? Who made you the captain? Who made you the boss? And blah, 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 this. And ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? We all gonna go. All of us. All 20 of us, we going down to the bank. Okay, banks is messed up right now. Nobody trusting banks like that. All right, so we ain't gonna go and put it in the bank. We gonna, well, see, that's the problem. Nobody's going to trust nobody to just maybe bury it somewhere, hide it somewhere, because then you'll be worried every day. I hope Craig ain't over there messing around with that money. You understand what I'm saying? Because we have no trust. We have no trust. So, what you could do is you could, I would say a bank. Listen, what is it? What's the name of the bank? Big Mike. You know that guy, Big Mike? I think he's one of the people that established that bank. Is it Greenwood? I think it's Greenwood. But there are a lot of banks out here, and there are some black-owned banks. If that would make you feel more comfortable, we can choose a bank. We can all meet and sit together, choose a bank, put that money in a bank account, start that account, and start letting that money accrued interest. If $5 from 20 people can give us $1,200 in a year, and you don't have, listen, maybe you can give more. If you can give more, it don't have to be 5. I'm saying 5, trying to keep it at a minimum. Because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, well, $5. I ain't got no $5, but you got $5 for that bag. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, though, see, the thing is that it means nothing to do all of this if we're not going to begin to plan. If we're not going to begin to plan. But see, the reason why we can't and we have not yet started planning is because there's no trust. There's no trust. Like I just said, there's no trust. See what I'm saying? Everybody can't be a chief. Somebody got to just be a damn Indian. But in our case, everybody want to be the chief. Let me tell you something. Not only are people to take care of and repair and maintain, buses needed, bus drivers are needed to drive the bus. Not only are toilets needed so that we can relieve ourselves and do our business, plumbers are needed to take care of those toilets when they malfunction and back up on you. So the point that I'm making with that is that the person with what some may call minimal title, or that's not really a proper word for it, but for lack of another word, the person with the title that don't hold the most power is still needed. See what I'm saying? It's still needed. So this whole thing of distrust that was implanted in us by this so-called person, and I want to say so-called because outside of that whole Willie Lynch letters story, I ain't never really heard nothing else about Willie Lynch except what he was supposed to be from Barbados. But I've yet to hear anything else about this Willie Lynch. That's the only time I've ever heard about Willie Lynch. But this thing that we have of distrust, dark against light, nappy head, kinky head against curly straight head, young against old, male against woman, it all stems back from that. It all stems from that. So at some point in time, we're going to have to break every chain and learn to trust one another. Oh, you ain't stupid. You know who to trust and you know who not to trust. Like, for instance, you might be cool with about 20, 30 people in your block, but you know not to involve crazy ass Debo in this and on this. You ain't in on this, man. You know not to invite crazy ass Debo. So you use proper discernment when it comes time to picking this this group. You understand what I'm saying? Proper discernment, not bias, not some type of discrimination. Okay, I'm not talking about you know, just not wanting somebody to be involved because I don't like her, she get on my nerves. No, because like I said, and I'm jumping to the video, time gotta be right now, not yesterday, now. See what I'm saying? And this ain't got nothing to do with warring with no one. So for my ear hustlers, this has nothing to do with warring. This has to do with building and getting us together.
We're about to take it back.
If you don't take this ass whipping